is in what state or condition? Amen. In what state or condition is your commitment today? The word firm is resistance, watch this now, to external applied pressure. Externally applied pressure. Amen. Securely fixed in one place. Firm also means not subject to change. Amen. Fixed and definite. Amen. That's firm. And then it is unfluctuating. Amen. Not up and down. Amen. Hitting and missing. Some people serve God on a part-time basis. That's not going to get it. Amen. If God has supplied you with breath every day of your life, then don't fluctuate on him. Amen. Be firm. Be secure. Despite what the opposition is coming at you on the exterior side of things. Amen. Because the adversary, he's out there. He's breathing. He's haunting you. He's taunting and he's kicking and stomping. But be firm. Amen. Then be steady. Amen. Steady. As Fred Sanford said, steady Freddy. Amen. And then firm also means strong and sure. Amen. The word is indicative of the word be, which means to exist in actuality. How firm is your commitment today? To exist in actuality, have life or reality. Amen. And then your means a person or one. How firm is your commitment today? And the word commitment is the state of being bound emotionally or intellectually, watch this, to a course of action or to another person or persons. Amen. Your commitment to each other, your commitment to God, your commitment to your relationship, your commitment to your church. Amen. How firm is that commitment today? And today is concerning with or relating to, watch this now, the present time. Amen. How we doing, church? Amen. Digging, let's begin. In 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter, beginning right at the very first verse. How firm is your commitment today?
Amen.
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 That's a question. How firm is your commitment today? How good is your resistance against external applied pressure?
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
The adversary is applying pressure like never before.
Yes. Amen.
Amen. And so my question is, how firm are you? How sure are you today?
True.
In your commitment to following God.
Amen.
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 The key is not following man, the key is following God.
True.
So listen, in 1 Timothy, the 4th chapter, beginning at the first verse, listen to this. Now what?
Now the Spirit speak especially.
Now how's that spirit spelt?
Capital S.
It is capital S. So it is therefore not speaking about the mind of man, but it is speaking about the power of God.
That's it.
Now the power of God speaketh how? Expressly, read.
That in the latter time.
That in the latter times, meaning the last days in some writings that it may say, but in the latter times, meaning years, what?
Some shall depart from the faith.
Some individuals are departing their commitment
Yes.
to one another, to God, to the church, to life itself. Amen.
Yes. True.
Some shall depart from the faith, doing what?
Giving heed to seducing
Giving
spirits.
heed to seducing spirits. Now, how is that spirit spelled?
Small s.
With a small s. So it's talking about those other spirits other than the power of God.
Amen.
You have all sorts of spirits that is lounging around in the top of man's mind.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised at what those spirits are, but the gospel comes in and it digs in deep
Yes.
and unveils and unravels. And it also has power to dissipate
Yes.
those spirits.
Yes.
Drives them out. Amen. Those spirits know who Christ was.
Oh, yes.
They knew who Paul and Silas was. And they know who you are.
Yes.
Amen. And they know exactly where they can go and abide.
Yes.
Amen. But these seducing spirits, and watch this now, read.
And doctrines of
And
devils.
Doctrines of devils.
Yes.
Amen. Satan got a doctrine. He got a teaching just like Christ got a teaching. Amen. He comes right along and tell you, oh, it don't mean that. Amen. Oh, ain't nothing wrong with that.
Yes.
Oh, that's that. You got to watch out for those what? Little foxes.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yes.
Because them little foxes is what tends to destroy the vine. They weaken you, church.
Yes.
The little insignificant things that doesn't seem to be so important
Yes. True.
is the one thing that destroy. Read.
Speaking lies and hypocrisy.
Seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, speaking lies in hypocrisy. Amen.
Yes.
Being hypocritical,
Yes.
lying about certain things. Amen. Instead of being truthful about it. Amen. I was thinking about the conversation the wife and I had about this individual, a woman who had approached me and couldn't get her way. She decided to write me this letter in red. Amen. In red. And telling me that she was going to wait for me no matter how long it took. And down on the end of it, it says, and do not show this to your wife. I got home late at night. I woke her up. Say, here, read this. And after she read it, she wanted, well, what did you do to get all this stuff? If you're a man and you're sitting in the seat of authority, you don't have to do nothing to get nothing started.
That's right. That's right. True.
Now, what if I, honey, take my coat to the cleaners, and I had it in my coat pocket, and she, you know, wives have a tendency to go through your pockets because there may be $1 or $2 in there, you know. They have a tendency to go through your pockets. And, you know, it's going to the cleaner, so they don't want the other person to get what might be in there. So they take it out, and all sorts of things is in your pockets, and you have a tendency, let me see what this is. And if I had not chosen to wake her up when I didn't wait till the next morning, no, she gonna see this tonight. And if I had not, and it went to the cleaners and she cleaned the pocket out 2 months later, she gonna want to know, well, why is it that you didn't show me this? Now you got some explaining to do.
That's right.
Amen. Now remember, the letter was in red. Who represents red that is the adversary of our souls? Satan. Amen. Red in red ink. And then had the audacity to sit down on the end of it and do not show this to you.